Expect the best on the River Mile, the Railway, yeah.
Hey guys, I want to go over the Volkswagen 2011 Jetta SEL. Amazing car. This is the top of the line package, very, very priced affordably, under $25,000. Has a 2.5 5-cylinder engine. This engine's great. It's a proven engine. It's double overhead cam, aluminum chain engine, no timing belt to worry about. 170 horsepower, 177 pounds of torque. It'll get about 26 miles a gallon around town and up to 34 on the highway. This is something that's neat on the car. The SEL model has push button start stop and keyless entry. It's new for the Jetta for this year, but the convenience of it is you can keep your key in your pocket, open the door, lock it, push the button like that. If I want to open the door again, just get close. But as you can see inside the car, it's nicely equipped. You have a sunroof. You have the navigation unit as well. Also there by the shift knob, there's the push button for the start stop. So as long as you have your key in your pocket, you can start the car or stop it. The amount of legroom in the car, it's 3 inches bigger than it was last year. So as you can see, I had this car adjusted for me to drive it. And I'm 5'11", plenty of legroom back here for both passenger and people in front driving it. And this is neat too. You can open up the trunk just because by having the key in your pocket. A very large trunk. It's the largest trunk capacity of any, as far as I know, of any compact car on the market right now. You also get the heavy-duty rubber floor mats. You get the heavy-duty rubber trunk liner. Just nice little things that Volkswagen throws in for the vehicle. Okay, so now let's go get Amy for a test drive.
All right, so Ward, you have me here in this brand new Jetta, and you know, you and I have talked about it a lot when we've seen him in the showroom, but this is the first time that I've gotten to go for a test drive.
Really? Well, you know, that's good because, of course, Volkswagen redesigned the Jetta for 2011. In the past, Volkswagen used to be kind of complicated. You had a lot of options you could get on the cars. I think for the 2010 Jetta, there was like 130 build options.
Oh my God.
It's been a lot more simplified now. You've got, this is an SEL, which is the top of the line. This car comparably equipped last year was several $1,000s more. Wow. You've got navigation.
So the price actually went down.
The price went down. Yeah, it's a bigger car. The car's 3 inches bigger than it was last year, so it's mainly in the back seat. Plus you get more features and less money.
Fantastic.
The sunroof.
Yeah. Cars don't usually do that, yeah.
Right, right. It's really nice. You know, Volkswagen made some nice changes. Of course, you do have the keyless start stop, which is pretty nice. You can now lock your keys out of the car.
I love that. I have been in that situation before, actually.
Yes, yes. It's a very nice feature on the car. You also, I mean, this car is between 24 to 25. There's a couple of options you can get, but you know, you're going to get navigation. You push button start stop, fog lights. You've got lumbar support.
These are all things that are standard on this vehicle?
These are all standard on this vehicle. Yes, very much so.
Wow.
It's just a really, really nicely equipped car. If you go down to the lower model, you'd get the SE with convenience and sunroof. You lose the navigation. They just basically change out the feature options.
Well, riding in it, I can kind of see how it sells itself once you take someone out on the road.
The AC works very well, as you can see.
Yes, which is very nice.
And it has heated seats.
It's a smooth ride, too. I mean, this is a very nice ride that we're going on here.
It is. It's a very fun car to drive. It handles, of course, you know, the National Highway Transportation Safety Authority came out with their new, for 2011, they changed the way they rate cars.
Yeah.
And Volkswagen got 5 stars side impact, 4 stars from the front, but you know, some other manufacturers that are established did not do very well.
Wow.
Volkswagens have always been extremely safe. No matter which trim level you get, it's going to have 6 airbags in it, full side curtain airbags.
So all those safety features are on all of the cars,
exactly.
no matter what.
That's every Volkswagen sold. They do not skimp on safety in any way. No matter which car it is, they're all going to have the same safety features.
Which is great, yeah. And so one of the things I can see too is everything seems very convenient for the driver, but I can also reach over and do things in the car.
Everything's very intuitive. All the controls on all Volkswagens are very intuitive. I know you go to some vehicles and you walk in and there's tons of buttons everywhere.
Yes.
And with this, you've got a nice touch screen. This trim package and the one right below it also has the touch screen. It's not a satellite radio, or it's a satellite radio, but not the navigation and the model below this. And Volkswagen does a really good job of everybody, you know, it's very important for us to get people's email addresses because it's a good way for us to communicate in Volkswagen, to communicate with customers. I have customers all the time. If they have questions, they can email me or text me, whether it's something small or if it's generally small questions. How do I set this? How do I pair my phone up with a Bluetooth? But I think technology is changing, and people seem, if they're a little hesitant about technology, it's because they just haven't been introduced to it properly.
Yes.
So Volkswagen does a really good job of making things very, very easy to use. With the exception of the base model car, you're going to have Bluetooth standard on all the Jettas.
That's fantastic, and of course the sunroof that we have up here.
Correct, and here we go.
Cool.
It's a little bit of a turn here.
Oh yeah.
You can see the car handles very well.
Yeah.
They're not sliding around. There's not the body roll. Volkswagens are designed to be driven safely at high speeds, and that carries over.
Autobahn,
The
of
Autobahn,
course.
yes. Yes, so the cars have to be safe. They have to handle well because it's important in an avoidance situation. If you're the best way to avoid or to be safe in an accident is to avoid the accident in the first place.
Yes.
So being able to get out of the way and get back, so that's why it's nice this car's got the 5-cylinder engine, 170 horsepower, 177 pounds of torque, and torque is what gives you that go.
Yeah, so when you're actually pushing the gas pedal, something's happening.
Exactly. It doesn't have to rev high before you get power, so it gives you that passing power when you need it. The car handles really well, and a lot of times when people, they're not. You ask them how a car feels when they drive it. Now, notice in Volkswagens, I'll take the same course on a car that's not a Volkswagen, and then drive the same course within a Volkswagen, and the person's they don't even realize they're doing it. They're going faster in the Volkswagen.
Oh yeah.
So they're actually more comfortable, and that's the car's designed to do that. It's like, oh, the car just is faster. It's that you're more comfortable and you feel safer. As soon as you start to feel like you're unsure of your driving, you're gonna slow down. Volkswagen does a really good job with their cruise control delivery. I know Columbia is very hilly. It'll stay right on the speed that you set it, and the nice thing about that too is it helps your fuel economy. The 5-cylinder 5-cylinder engine in this, it's a great engine. It's aluminum, double overhead cam, all that stuff. It's very well built, chain driven. It'll last forever, and it'll get 26 miles a gallon around town, thereabouts, depending how you drive, of course. You can get mid-30s on the highway depending how you drive,
which is fantastic. And of course, great warranties come with these cars as well.
Most definitely. The factory warranty is 3 years, 36, bumper to bumper. You also get carefree scheduled maintenance, which covers your oil changes, your tire rotations, all the things they generally do when you take the car for service.
So what does carefree maintenance mean? What does that really mean?
It means it's just the car's getting its checkups. It's going to the dentist. It's kind of like going to the dentist. The dentist, they take the car in, they clean it, they put new oil in it, they rotate the tires. If there's any software updates that have come out through Volkswagen. So that's why it's important to take the car to the dealership, is because a lot of time, there are places where you can go and spend less money to get a car repaired. Sometimes they don't have the capability of.
Software updates are a big deal though, because so much in cars is computerized now.
Everything is computer controlled nowadays. I'm very impressed. I mean, I own 2 Volkswagens. My fiance and I both do, and I had never owned a Volkswagen until I started working for Volkswagen. And I think just learning about the technology and more about the automotive industry and seeing the quality of the components that goes in, they use 100% galvanized sheet metal. That means that if you get a chip in the hood, it's not going to rust.
Really?
I went up to Michigan, where my fiance's from, and I'd see lots of cars that were rusted through, and then you'd see a 10-year-old Volkswagen, see responsive brakes.
Yes, that was good.
A 10-year-old Volkswagen driving down the road, and it wasn't rusted out. You're able to get a really well-built European car without paying for the name.
No, it's a great car, and I'm glad that we got to go out, and I recommend anyone come down here.
Yeah, most definitely. They're very comfortable for the seats. How did the seats feel?
Oh, it was a great ride. It really was. If it wasn't so hot out, I could have tested out the heated seat.
Last story about when I went to Michigan, we drove 13 hours straight, and every time I've ever taken a road trip, this is before I had a Volkswagen, I'd have to stop and stretch. I had to stop to go to the bathroom. I'm old, but I was perfectly fine. My legs didn't hurt, my back didn't hurt, because you get a lot of support. And I think there's little things like that people take for granted. And once you get into a car like this, that's a great value for the money, you start to appreciate that, and it's really hard to go to something else.
Well, it's fantastic.
Well, thank you, Amy.
Thanks, Ward.